Okay, so 3 years ago I put this engine in storage because we weren't going to be using it for a couple of years, and but before storing it, every time I had it on my my Zodiac, and every time I tried to increase the throttle, the speed, it would sputter and sometimes just choke out. So I could always just drive it forwards or reverse and almost idle. So now I took it out because we're going to be using it this summer to go to the Thousand Islands. And I've been listening and reading a lot of stuff about SeaFoam. So instead of taking the carburetor apart and all that stuff to clean all the needles, and I decided to give these guys a try. So what I did is I took it out of storage, and I wish I would have recorded it before. I put a bit of fuel in, just started it, and it was doing the same thing. I could get it to idle, start an idle, and put into to gear and leave it in idle. But as soon as I tried to increase the throttle, it would choke out and just die. Unless I brought back the throttle to idle real quick. So I decided to go ahead and I siphoned the fuel out of the tank, and then I added a half a can of the SeaFoam, and then I opened the cover and I pumped the fuel so that it would bring the fuel to the carburetor, or that the SeaFoam to the carburetor, and then I started it. And after about a minute and a half, quite a bit of smoke came out. And then all of a sudden the smoke left, and then I tried to increase the speed, and I was able to get the speed all the way up to the maximum, and then bring it back down to idle, and then up and then down, and it seemed to be working. So following the instructions and all the YouTube videos that I saw, I then stopped the engine and I went for lunch. I let it sit there with the SeaFoam all over the carburetor and all that, and all parts of the combustion parts, and then I went for lunch to sit there, and now I just got back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it up again and see how it works and all that, and then I'll add some clean fuel. So hopefully you can hear my voice, but yeah, so you saw it at 3/4 power. I was just making too much noise, full power, and I was able to get it up there back and forth from idle to increase power with no hesitation. And now she's on complete idle, and she's actually running better in idle. It's more steady. So yeah, I guess that SeaFoam stuff really works. So I can't say anything bad about it. So I use it in my gas lawnmower as well, and it did improve the performance of the gas lawnmower. I do add one bottle completely, at least once a year, in the fuel tank of my car, and I add a full bottle as well in my let me just shut the engine off here. There you go. And I add one of these in my diesel tank on my sailboat, which has a Perkins diesel engine. So I add that once a year in the tank. These come on sale quite often, which is why it was also interesting. So I'm in Montreal, Canada, and they were on sale at Home Hardware for about $8 a can. So I bought myself about 5 or 6 cans, and yeah, actually I'm pretty impressed with it. So if you're thinking of using it and you're not too sure, listen, I paid for the product. I'm just giving you my real opinion. Hopefully it'll keep up the cleanup work, and the performance will keep going. If it doesn't, I'll certainly do another YouTube video. But my recommendation, 5 stars for SeaFoam.